Shoot him again, shoot him again, shoot him again! No, no, no!
He's winged, come on.
So there we have it. All that time, all that effort, all that work. When it comes down to it, I fluffed the shot. A little bit too much pressure there, I think. Now obviously I've pissed my guide off, he's headed for the hills, but it is what it is. Now, the birds are coming in good. Both flew out the tree, came down, gobbling and strutting. And the next thing I know, I'd like to have let them come a little bit further. They're probably about 55 yards from where we're sat. And they were moving in. Just stopped behind a tree. I know that Randy could see him, but I could only just see the front end of him. And as you probably heard, he told me twice to take the shot. And I just came in front of him. So, a little bit disappointed, but yeah, that's hunting. Bugger. So, as we appear to have proven today, I completely suck at turkey hunting. Now, we had a close call this morning, didn't quite get what we were looking for, and we've been working hard at it all day. But they're still going to be out there tomorrow morning. However, tonight, there might be a chance of us going out and doing some predator hunting, something that I know I'm pretty good at. Now, right here in this case, I have my Sauer 202 Wolverine in 243. Yes, that's 243. Not normally typically known as a varmint caliber, but actually it's a pretty good one. Nice, flat, fast, and over 200 to 300 yards, which is potentially where we're going to be shooting. It's an ideal caliber. Now, it's in this case along with the Sauer 202 takedown. Now, Mr. Killer, before we came away, took them both down to Doveridge and zeroed them before I completely dismantled them and put them into this case. But the great thing about Sauers is that they are a modular design, so you can take them to bits, put them together in a case so that there's loads of space being used, everything's being used to its optimum, and then when you get where you're going, bolt it all together, and it should hold its zero. So, let's give that a go right now. Now, to the untrained eye, this might look like a bit of a jumble, but actually, we know exactly where everything is, and these should be no stranger to most of you out there. These are my ZEISS Victory 10x45 rangefinding binoculars. Just double check the target is 81 yards away, so we need to kind of move back, but we'll be using those in a second. So right here we also have two scopes. These are two Power Class 4 to 16 by 56 scopes for my air guns, but everything else in here is actually two rifles. This part, and this part are my takedown. This part and this part over here are my Wolverine. So as you can see, we managed to take everything to pieces, 3 scopes, 2 rifles and a barrel, and everything seems to have survived the attentions of the US airline baggage handlers. So the great thing about Sauers, as I've said, they are a modular design, which means we've been able to leave the back end of the stock on along with a scope, which is a very cool ZEISS Duralight 3 to 12 by 50. What we need to do now, slot on the back of the stock. Oh, hold on a second. I need another little piece. The Wolverine also has an adjustable comb. So before we can actually put that on the rifle, we need to take that out. Okay, so if you remove the adjustable comb, that will allow us to stick into it this huge Allen key, which locates through the back end of the stock and then into the Allen nut, which screws it into the back of the receiver. And tighten that up, and we're all good to go. So you can see that's fit on there nice and solid. It is unloaded, by the way. Next thing to do, put the raised comb back in like so, and give that a little scoop with the Allen key, and there we have it. Nice and simple, and it should still be on, although that target is about to tell me. Now the first thing we need to do really is get it on a sandbag, something nice and firm, and fire a few shots off. So I'll pop this down here onto my custom made bench rest. We'll keep out the BINOS because we're going to need to move the table away from that target. Okay, so here we go. There's a Wolverine, a couple of bolts, it's ready to go. As I say, Mr. Keith told me that he'd zeroed it, and we have no reason to doubt Mr. Keith because he is an expert marksman. We've all seen that. If you haven't watched Shooting Zombie Fat Chicks, where we prove just how good a marksman Mr. Kidder is, kind of click on this link now. If you missed that, you're a douchebag. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get 3 in the magazine. Now, the reason I'm pretty happy to take these shots is because I know that it was on when we left. The scope hasn't been taken off, hasn't been moved. Obviously it's been into the case, but nobody's interfered or affected it. So it should still be on. There's a safe backdrop down there, you know, a couple of thousand acres of woodland. So all things being equal, it should still be on. Okay, so these are the first 2 shots. That last one there, I just slipped on the bag, but as you can see, they're all in line. The slip on the bag was the barrel kind of came up just before I squeezed the trigger, but those 2 are practically touching. Had I have not been a complete moron and pulled, then that also would have been touching down there as well. That's not a flyer. So it just needs to come 1 click over to the right, and I think we're pretty much bang on. So the paddy case survived the baggage handlers. The modular system of the Sauer 202 Wolverine has meant that I could keep all of the scope and everything together, and this bad boy is ready for some varminting.